Dogs, over thousands of years, have been established as symbols of security and protection. As a result, there seems to be a pattern of dog commemoration in times of emotional turmoil and social upheaval, when people want to distract themselves from whichever crisis is at hand. In such times, humanity yearns for the stability, loyalty, and purity that dogs epitomize, hence erecting monuments to represent said values. A vivid example of this occurrence is the Balto statue in Central Park of New York City. It was created by Frederick George Richard Roth in 1925, shortly after the First World War and in the midst of the Roaring Twenties. It was a dedication to the hundreds of huskies, and Balto in particular, that saved a small town in Alaska by delivering vaccine over a large distance. It is very interesting to see how in a society bursting with cultural shifts and lifestyle reformations, people found the time to erect a monument for a dog. This implies a somehow deeper connection between human emotions and the image of a dog. Perhaps it comforts us with ideas of constancy and protection. The monument of the Capitoline she-wolf in Rome speaks much about the human longing for security. The bronze wolf was created in the 5th century BC. However, the twins were added centuries later in the 15th century AD during the Renaissance period. Christina Mazzoni notes that, quote, "The wolf's distended udders are bodily evidence that she is a recent mother about to turn ferocious, expressing both fear and ferocity, the emotions of prey and predator," end quote. Hence, the fact that there was a need to add the twins below her shows how people wish to identify with such instincts and want to be protected when under threat. This yearning is further proved in the existence of the Chinese foo dogs that stand on the entrance to the Forbidden City in Beijing. They are considered guardians of life and stand as guardians of the Chinese imperial palace. Such statues were commonplace in China, even though dogs, quote, also had demonic significance, being connected with eclipses and other natural disasters, end quote. Perhaps this was due to their ability to feel oncoming catastrophes. Therefore, a connection was established between critical circumstances and dogs. As time passed, this connection evolved in an optimistic way, and dogs became the symbols of protection and loyalty. As a result, there are monuments like the War Dog Memorial by Joseph Pavone, which was dedicated to the dogs that served in all the major wars of the 20th century. In the most drastic of times, these dogs gave hope to all the morbid soldiers with their, quote, loyalty, hierarchy, fierceness, courage, and obedience, end quote. Monuments such as this one show how people's emotions in association to dogs became personal over time, as the animal's image shifted from utility to a faithful companion. The, quote, deep and unwavering devotion, end quote, translated into personal human emotions as well. We see this in the bronze Greyfriars Bobby Memorial by William Brodie. It is a personal dedication to a tiny terrier who remained loyal to his owner for 14 years after the man's death. The animal became crucial to the family of the deceased and became a beacon of loyalty for everyone else. Dogs, with time, became symbols of heroism and all the moral qualities that people aspire to have. An explicit example would be the idolization of Rin Tin Tin, a trained German shepherd who was rescued during the First World War, consequently becoming a star of a television show. The dog became a hero and depicted stability in the, quote, little pocket between World War I and the Great Depression, end quote. This was the same time frame as the statue of Balto was created, further promoting the image of a dog as a hero in turbulent times. The 1920s both witnessed an end of a war and an economic boom. Even though both of these are unmistakably positive occurrences, they serve to conceal the rift in society that widened below. The war made people either more conservative or more liberal. Therefore, the people that wanted to continue the lives they led before the war were faced with a new liberal, indulging generation, which thrived on jazz and lavish commodities. In these contrasting times, people once again returned to the primal, moral emotions that dogs symbolized. For after hearing the story of the huskies that brought vaccine over thousands of miles to the little town of Nome in Alaska, a group of New York dog lovers petitioned and then funded the creation of the statue of Balto. Furthermore, it was placed in the center of New York City, a town that was overcome with change. An event that was extremely significant for a tiny town in Alaska was now known all over the United States, hence proving that humans turn to the image of dogs when faced with social upheaval and calamity.